My name is David Salcido. I am the writer-director of Lady Belladonna's Nightshades. Lady Belladonna's Nightshades is an anthology feature film that will incorporate short films by up-and-coming filmmakers. It will also have a wrap with a hostess who will introduce the films in much the same way that Rod Serling introduced Twilight Zone and Night Gallery, or The Crypt Keeper, Tales from the Crypt. I've always been a huge fan of Rod Serling. He's one of my personal heroes. Ever since I was very young, I was addicted to shows like Twilight Zone and Night Gallery. Particularly Night Gallery because it came out when I was in my teens and it really captured my imagination. We had been talking about how we could market and distribute short films, because we know so many filmmakers that create these wonderful short films, and there aren't that many avenues for them to get them out there. I'm also a huge fan of Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. I just love the way that she introduced things, but very irreverently. And I was also a big fan of Mystery Science Theater 3000. In particular, the way that they took these old films that nobody wanted to see and made them more enjoyable with they had their own little arc going, and it was very campy, but they had an intro, they had an outro, and then they had a break in the middle where they would come and do their thing. And basically they told a little story. It wasn't very deep, but each episode had a story in which the villain was somehow trying to trip up the heroes and finding new ways to do that while forcing them to watch horrible movies. I always liked that concept. So all of these things were in the mixed master of my brain, and while I was trying to come up with this concept, I thought, how cool would it be to have a hostess like Elvira, but not someone who just introduces the films and cracks a few jokes, someone who also has a story arc of some sort. And that's really where it all came together. Lady Belladonna is the top soul broker of the Abyss. She is responsible for going out and soliciting souls. But in her spare time, because that's her day job, she also has a collection that she's very fond of, and that is the sins of man. So what she does is she uses her box, which is Pandora's box, and she peers inside, finds an element that she pulls out of it, and along with each element goes a story, much like Night Gallery. The character of Lady Belladonna is not like anything you've ever seen before. I mean, we keep drawing comparisons to Elvira, but in actuality, she's vastly different. I love Elvira. Cassandra Peterson is a wonderful actress, and the character that she created is iconic in many ways. But I like to believe that Lady Belladonna is going to have a lot more depth and character. She interacts more with her environment, and her the supporting characters, supporting actors, will in every way enhance that character for her. By the end of it, I'm hoping that people will have a glimpse into what she really is, what she does on a daily basis. She's not just somebody who sits on a couch and cracks wise. But ultimately, this is still going to be a showcase for short films. Again, there are so many wonderful short films out there by up-and-coming filmmakers that never get seen. And the opportunity to package them together in themed packages and get them out there for people to see, I think is very exciting.
Hello, my pets. The Lady Belladonna here. I've got a fresh batch of transgressions piping hot from the furnace to share with you. Just a little taste of what's to come should you find yourself seduced by Pandora's box. I love the taste of damnation.